Welcome to Celebrating Act Two with Manny Pacheco of Forgotten Hollywood. Hi, Manny.
How you doing? How you doing, Art? How you doing, John?
Manny, this is a very special day. You have something for us that we've never seen before. Doesn't this need a drum roll or something? Anyway, tell us what you want to do. This
Well,
sounds great.
I think this has been done before, but just not by me. It's, we are
Well,
going,
that's Hollywood, isn't it?
yeah, Celebrating Act Two is going to do a 10-part series presenting Forgotten Hollywood's top three in different genres of movies. We
Yes.
have seen the AFI, American Film Institute, do these top 100s of different types of things, the best
Sure.
quotes, the best laughs, the best
Sure.
mysteries, the best blood. You know, they do all these kinds of things. I thought it'd be kind of fun since I put together my 1,000 favorite movies of all time between
Mm.
1930 and
Wow.
1967, which is the studio era. It's
Sure.
taken me almost a year to do it. And I thought, boy, let's celebrate the creme de la creme of my favorites, and we'll do it by genre.
I
And
love that.
Oh, yeah.
I
By
love
the
that.
way, just for the audience to know, you can always go to our playlist. I didn't. This is a little surprise to me today, so I didn't go check. But I think we've done about 150 episodes, so I bet most of these have been covered in one form or another. And I'm just. This is a great trip down memory lane. Thank you, Manny.
of course, and yes, you're right. Some of these movies have been talked about, and some of them have not. But
Well,
I figure we pick a genre and just have fun with
Mm,
it.
sure.
great.
And of course, you're talking about a historical period. You said 1932 to when's the end of the studio era?
1930 to 1967,
30
roughly.
to
Mm,
67. Sure, 30 beginning of the talkies, really.
Right.
67 with
Brought in the MPAA ratings. The
sure,
Hays Code went away. There was
yeah,
sure,
a huge rise in independent filmmaking,
right.
and the studio era, though it was still alive, it was essentially over.
Yeah, yeah.
sure.
So this is a classic period of film, and we're talking about not just anybody's top three, but forgotten Hollywood's top three. I love this. I
Exactly.
love this.
Yes,
All
yes.
right, so what category do you want to start with?
Well, I thought we'd start with the tried and true that everybody just loves to talk about. And I mean, I could name 50, 70 different films in this category, and that's the category of film noir.
Oh,
Mm,
yes, yes. I
You
love
know,
that.
you've got this hero that's an anti-hero that could be very duplicitous and sometimes doesn't even survive the end reel. You got the femme fatales, you got the crooked streets and the fog rolling in,
Yeah,
and
yeah,
men wearing their hats and their trench coats, and
yeah.
a lot of crime, you know. And I did come up with three. I will also mention a couple of honorable mentions. We'll start with number three and work our way to number one.
Okay.
But my honorable mentions that could have made the list because they were right there. I mean, just missing by a position or two. But the two that I really liked and we're not going to really investigate, although I want to mention them, and that's that classic by Otto Preminger in 1944 called Laura with
Oh, yeah.
Dana Andrews and Gene Tierney. And then the other, the John Huston absolute masterpiece. I think it's his best film he did without Bogey, and that is the Asphalt Jungle, which is just an absolute perfect crime heist drama gone wrong. And those two I think were really good. But the three that I picked I think are rather iconic. So maybe they're on your list, maybe they're not. I don't think there's going to offer any surprises here. But at number three, I picked the movie that really defines film noir in the 1940s. Although it was not the first film noir, that goes to Stranger on the Third Floor. That was a Peter Lorre masterpiece. But this one was the one that everybody talked about and signaled the advent of film noir. So, being the first one, I think it's worth mentioning, and that is The Maltese Falcon.
Oh, my
mm,
God.
yeah.
And this is only number three? This
That's
isn't
number
number one?
three. Yeah.
Oh, oh,
That's the other John Huston masterpiece. Of course, he did the Asphalt Jungle as well. And of
right.
course, it signaled the start of his career. And it really elevated Humphrey Bogart from being that third banana to a star, a bona fide star. This, along with High Sierra, really solidified that
Yeah,
Bogart persona of the 1940s.
sure did. Sure did.
Yeah, there. Where did? What do you think, Art? Do you think that's a good choice? You've seen it, right?
Yeah, I mean, all this, everything that we've covered so far, even obscure stuff that I wasn't even familiar with. There were so many interesting backstories with it, but you always, I'll see what you have for your other two, but
Yeah.
it's good, sure.
Yeah, I think you guys are all remarkably shocked it's not number one, right?
I am. I am.
And of
No,
course,
actually,
I
I'm waiting. I'm waiting.
And also, yeah, and you threw away the other Houston film. You just threw it away.
no, it's actually number 5. I mean, to be honest with you, but we're doing a top 3, so there
Okay.
you go.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not throwing it away. There are going to be some I don't even mention that are just iconic. But
Well, you had
but
to
I
make
will
some
say
tough
that
choices. There's
yeah,
only 3.
but I will say that the Maltese Falcon also has this iconic last line when he tries to describe what the Maltese Falcon is, and he calls it the stuff the dreams are made of, which can be Hollywood. I mean, in a nutshell. I mean, it's
Been
just
used many, many years. Yeah.
By the way,
Yeah.
I'm writing down right now. A phrase from what I think is going to be number one, but we'll find out.
okay.
Okay.
Well,
I just
number
wrote it
2.
down.
Number 2 is not generally considered a film noir, but how can you not? It has a hero who's kind of a heel. It has a femme fatale who ends up making sure that the hero doesn't survive. And I'm not giving anything away because he's dead after the first 2 minutes. The story is told by a dead man. And it is directed by one of the great film noir directors. In fact, he directs the top 2, believe it or not, and that's Billy Wilder. How can you not put at number 2 Sunset Boulevard?
Oh,
sure.
yeah.
California feel. It's got
That's
a
good.
tribute to Hollywood. It's William Holden is dead in the first 5 minutes of the film.
Yep.
And Gloria
I got lost when you said the narrator is dead. I blanked out. But yeah, that's an excellent choice. Excellent.
And Gloria Swanson is the femme fatale, a silent screen star gone wrong. She's actually crazy, as most femme fatales are. And of course, you've got just the story that is edgy and gritty, and the police are chasing him because he hasn't made payments on a car, and really the only murder that occurs is his.
It's a classic film noir.
It's not a crime, and my favorite is that he wanted to get past the censors so that when they asked him the title of the film, Billy Wilder, they asked, he called it A Can of Beans. So I thought that was kind of...
No kidding.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Now, I think number 1 is on most people's number 1, although it could be on a lot of people's top 5 as well. Billy Wilder, I think, really defined what a great story can be, and he takes one of the great crime writers of all time, Raymond Chandler, and I believe he also did the Maltese Falcon, if I'm not mistaken. But anyway, and he puts together, I think, one of the finest films, if not just film noir films, but films of all time, and it stars one of the classic femme fatales. And there were many, as you know, Elizabeth Scott, Gloria Graham. I mean, Joan Greer. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on and on. But in this case, I mean, it's hard to argue with Barbara Stanwyck and Fred McMurray, and of course, co-starring in a Steen role, Edward G. Robinson, Double Indemnity.
Oh, I have to give it to you. I will say Double Indemnity is number 1. I was thinking of The Postman Always Rings Twice,
which was written by the same person who wrote Double Indemnity. So, I mean, Raymond Chandler did not write it. He actually just adapted the screenplay. But the person who wrote Double Indemnity also wrote The Postman Always Rings Twice. And I will tell you, The Postman Always Rings Twice is on my top 10 for sure. There's so many.
It didn't make your honorable mention.
Well, it didn't make my 2-word guess, which I guess is, I consider it film noir, but maybe nobody else does. All I have to say is I thought it might have been Rosebud.
So Citizen Kane. There's a lot of elements of documentary style in film noir in Citizen Kane, but no, I wouldn't put that as a classic film noir, and it wouldn't have made it anyway, because it's lower on my list. Double Indemnity has that California lifestyle. You get to see many of the Spanish style homes along Los Feliz.
Yeah.
And it has that Hollywood feel. You feel like you're going into one of the local bowling alleys with Fred McMurray, you
Mhm.
know,
Yeah.
and of course, you know that things are just never going to happen for this guy. He's a complete and total schmo. Am I wrong on that?
No,
And I
you're
will.
not. Yeah, you're not wrong. But look, I was wrong because you know you had me at Roger Corman. You've already established that my taste is weird, so that's good. No, these are three excellent choices. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Wow.
Barbara Stanwyck is absolutely superb, although she wears this really awful wig that
Yeah.
nobody believes is her real hair. And Wilder did it just as kind of a practical joke. But the other thing she wears, as Fred McMurray mentions, is that she wears a honey of an anklet.
Honey, yeah.
A honey of an
Yeah.
anklet.
That's a good choice. That's a good choice.
And one more thing about this, Edward G. Robinson steals every scene he's in.
Oh, I know.
I think it's his best film he ever made, and that's saying a lot considering
Really?
how.
Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe I
Sure.
don't know.
What
I'd
he's
have to
been
think
in.
about
Sure.
Yeah. So those are the inaugural top 3 film noir from Forgotten
that.
Hollywood.
From Forgotten
Yeah.
Hollywood's top 3. I love it. This
Wow.
is a series that's going to go down in history. I have to tell you.
Well, that's
Yeah,
only
I
number
mean,
1 out of 9 more to go. 9 more. I'm excited.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
Well,
Okay, well,
anyway,
stay
thank you,
tuned,
Matt.
everybody.
Thank you, Manny. As always, and this is really kind of fun because it's sort of like a trip down memory lane of celebrating Act Two and Forgotten Hollywood. So this is wonderful. John, I can't wait for the next 9.
Yeah.
And neither can I. Let's do it soon.
All right. We're looking forward to number 2 in the series of Forgotten Hollywood's top 3. This is terrific.
For more on Celebrating Act Two, visit our webpage, follow us on Facebook, subscribe to us on YouTube, and tell your friends. Celebrating Act Two is the user manual for the second half of your life.